Hey, everybody, welcome back. It is Michael Beck, Chad Horn, and the ChatGTM podcast coming to you live here. I can't tell you the day that's going to drop, but we're making this season 2, episode 1 of our podcast. We figured no better way to kick it off than with Mr. Bill Assyri, new owners of the concept Wits Frozen Custard. And also, he's got a big background over there with Donato's Pizza, and we're really excited to be talking to him about all kinds of things, whether it comes to running the restaurants, to business acquisitions, M&A, the fun of unknitting the sweater, and actually, since it's Christmas time when we're recording this, the tangle of lights that is a franchise system that you're picking up and all the solutions and stuff that go in there. So before I go any further, just want to say, Bill, thank you for coming on the show, and welcome to the ChatGTM podcast. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you both. I will warn you both. Usually, when I talk to people, they get hungry talking pizza and frozen custard. So, just warn you ahead of time.
That's an occupational hazard I think we've all had. I've been in hospitality technology for 15 years, and I eat a lot of food because of that. And there's a lot of cravings that come up. I know, Chad, you have that too, don't you?
Yes, I think I eat even more than you do. They call me the trash compactor sometimes, or something along those lines. I'll clean
I can
everybody's plate.
testify to that. I've seen him eat. He eats a lot.
Less than I used to, though.
Yeah. Is that because I tease you incessantly, or no?
No, the doctor's orders.
Okay. The doctor's orders are important, especially for all those pictures behind you. So Bill, good afternoon. And I believe you're somewhere in Ohio. Is it Cincinnati?
Yes, I actually live in Northern Kentucky, just 20 minutes south of Cincinnati. But yeah, we reside here in Cincinnati. That's what we tell people at our airports in Northern Kentucky, but it's called Cincinnati, right? So yeah, we're just right across the river there from Cincinnati, and it's cold here. I don't like being cold, so but it's all right. Still representing
That's
the
okay. It looks
Bengals
like
and
you're expanding to
Cincinnati.
Florida, it sounds like.
Yes, would love to go back to my roots where I was born and raised, and I was born in Fort Lauderdale. Would love to go back. Probably West Coast though is probably my goal.
Okay.
Naples, Fort Myers, Tampa, that
Yeah,
side of
yeah.
town.
Nice
So,
spot.
You guys are going to be neighbors in the future.
You know what? We've got a few of them here, right? We got Sam Stanovich. He lives on the same body of water as I, from over on the Hillsborough River. He's the guy over at Big Chicken, turned into a friend, industry guy. Just who knew was going to be in our backyard. So really quick. Sorry to do this to you, Bill, but I got to draw a line. Gold Star or Skyline?
it's funny because Gold Star has really been wanting us to buy a bunch of properties from them, but a bunch of brands. But we're Skyline guys through
Okay.
and through. I think Skyline's the Skyline's the strong brand in the market. It's just yeah, and they're the official chili of the Bengals. We're the official pizza of the Bengals. So I mean, we
Oh,
gotta talk that, right? So
okay.
that's we're married there one way or another with our
All
boy
right.
Joe Burrow. So
I was going to say Skyline myself. Chad, do you have an opinion either way on sweet chili and spaghetti put together?
I don't.
The
I
face
don't.
says it all.
I'm going to like it all, to be honest, right? But
they're
I've
both
not
good.
had enough experience with the options to make a firm bet either way.
All right, I'll take that. So Bill, we're here today because we've got some tie-ins with you. Understanding as one of our partners, Revmo, is working with Donato's Pizza, and then that turned us on to this acquisition you came up with Wits Frozen Custard. Tell us a little bit about just kind of your journey, coming into Donato's and what you've been doing there, and then all of a sudden you're not all of a sudden. I'm sure there's a big deliberate plan to do this thing with Wits. How'd that all progress?
Yeah, so I mean, I was with La Rosa's Pizza, big Cincinnati brand, it's a hometown pizza brand. I was with them for 17 years. Wanted to make my own money. I couldn't get my own store, so
Mm-hmm.
approached Donato's, which was always my wife and I's favorite pizza. We would always sneak to Donato's when we were first start dating and sneak in there and hide. I was a big wear the business on my sleeve. I bled pizza sauce when you cut me La Rosa's pizza sauce, so I didn't like people to know I was cheating on them,
Ooh.
but I was, and I loved Donato's. So I said, you know what, let's go approach Donato's. So we did, and they said no at first because the market was taken. I don't take no for an answer. That's a big. I don't know if that's a strength or a curse, but usually I don't take no. So I didn't take no, and we finally wedged ourselves into a 3-store deal. And then that opportunity actually grew into 15 more Donato's
Wow.
in the Cincinnati market. We did a good job running some, and the largest franchisee in the market went to sell to us, so we bought those. When we first started Donato's, we had our first spot in my hometown, Independence, where I live. the spot that we wanted was too big, so we approached Donato's corporate and said, "Hey, we'd love to put our own ice cream store in here next to it, pizza and ice cream, like just a great combo, right?" And it's a very rural, suburban area, not a lot of businesses, but a lot of families. So we thought pizza and ice cream would be great. Donato's corporate said, "Well, we don't like to have a mom and pop with our brand because we're a
Mm.
franchise and we're growing nationally. But what about Wits?" We didn't even know what Wits was. Donato's was based out of Columbus, Ohio. Wits is based out of Granville, Ohio. In 2003, it started, which is basically where Denison University is. It's just outside of Columbus. And Wits brand had really grown in Columbus, 30 plus locations in Columbus. So my partner Mike, my best friend, and I, since kindergarten, we drove up there and said, "Hey, let's try Wits." We tried it. We fell in love with it. We brought it back. We opened it in Independence. The market loved it. I got to know the family so well. I got to know the owner's daughter, Kaylin, who's now a partner of ours at Wits. She wasn't a partner before, but we brought her in as a partner when we bought it. We got to know each other really well. I got to know the family. One day, I decided to call them and say, "Hey, I'm crazy. Would you guys ever be interested in selling your company?" And they said, "Well, fly down to Sanibel, Florida, where they were living, and have dinner with us." So my wife and I at the time, we booked a flight down to Sanibel, had dinner, and I walked away not owning the brand. But they did tell me that they weren't ready yet, but they would be ready, and I was the guy. So I basically auditioned. I came and worked for the company for 3 years. I helped sell new franchise locations. I got to know the current franchise partners, got to know how their system worked, and then in January of 25, we finally got a chance to buy it. So yeah, we're a 90 unit over 11 states and growing. So we're excited.
And is that
Awesome.
Space Cowboys Restaurant Group? That's the whole 90 units, or what? Or is that right? Do I have the right
It's a,
information?
it's an interesting component. So Cowboys Restaurant Group is me,
Which I
and
love
then
the
my
name, by the way.
thanks. It was our intramural sports name in high school. My partner Mike and I. It's based off of the Steve Miller song, "The Joker." So
Yeah.
um, my partner Mike and Mark, we started Space Cowboys together. Just three close friends. Mike and I since kindergarten. Mike and I since high school, and we just said, "Hey, let's buy some Donatos." And then those two guys came in with me. I'm the majority owner over at Wits. I'm the main provider and operator there, but they came in with me, and we brought Kalen in at Wits. So two different entities going. Space Cowboys has some of our own locations in the Donatos, and then we have the Wits franchisor piece on the other side. So some fun
So,
stuff.
so Bill, I mean, obviously, if you take over the brand, you have a vision of what you can add to it and build it into. But it had to have been special for you to be interested in the first place and fall in love originally. So, what was it about Wits, and is it about Wits that makes it special?
Yeah, I mean, for me, first off, you can't figure out you can start a restaurant, but having that like cult following of the product was a big deal for me. And Wits, everybody that talks Wits always said, "Oh my gosh, absolutely love the product." So for us, it was like that's the hard part, and that's already done. The easy part is putting the pieces in place. Now the time and energy getting there is hard, but the idea of it and the follow through and the finish is the easy part, right? So that's where we've come in, and we've been super energetic on all these owners are operating kind of in their own silo. Like, hey, this is, and Wits is kind of known as people think it's a mom and pop. When I tell people we own Wits, we're like, "Oh yeah, we had that once in North Carolina." I'm like, "Cool, we're 90 plus locations," and they're like, "What? I thought it was a one off. I thought it was a mom and pop." But we're trying to keep that small town, local mom and pop feel, but infuse consistency and brand standards as an actual franchisor to provide these partners with a chance to make money, to grow, and to have Wits be consistent, whether you have it, in Daphne, Alabama or Granville, Ohio. Just, we just signed in Texas, so we're going to be open in Texas next year. A lot of good, fun stuff going on.
Um, I'm going to take a step backward before we take a step forward because if you look behind me, it's all comic book statues, and the common theme here is origin stories. And I love a good origin story. So if I have my information right, you were a dishwasher at 14.
That's
Is that
right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the first moment that made the light bulb come on and go, this is more than just me washing some dishes and getting on to my next thing, that I could actually build a career here? Because I know it's such an important part of hospitality that we keep talent inside the building instead of let it run out the door. Like farm people, I come from a farm community. Everybody leaves the moment they graduate high school. And nobody wants to plow and buck hay anymore. What made you come back into this and realize there's a lot of money to be made and also a very, successful and rewarding career?
It's funny, and probably don't have enough time for this podcast to talk through that in detail. But I will tell you, there's pivotal parts in people's lives, I think, that really shape the outcome of what happens in their life. I was pretty happy making good money over at La Rosa's, but there was there was some just didn't wouldn't really get along with the owner that I was working with at the time, and it came to a head, and it kind of forced me out of my comfort zone, and that's when I kind of looked in the mirror and said, "Hey, I can do this myself. Well, let me go buy a business." My grandpa was an entrepreneur. He kind of raised me. My mom had some. My parents got divorced at a very young age. I was 5, and my mom had a lot of health issues. She had a stroke at a young age. So my grandparents really kind of helped raise me. And my grandpa was a entrepreneur. He owned a couple pool companies and did very well. Did so well. He built a beautiful house down in Fort Lauderdale and had a farm in Northern Kentucky. So I just really kind of saw what could be of if
Yeah,
you put your work your butt off. And I had a leap of faith of a spot in my moment of time where I could have went one of two ways. I could have said sorry for me and just kind of stuck with most what our people do, stick to consistency and stick with normalcy or no risk. I decided to take a risk, and so far so good.
I love that, man. They used it as fuel, right?
Yes.
I absolutely, I love and admire that. It was such a great thing. God.
Bill, you mentioned earlier your team, your guys, and then the new partner you're bringing on. Like, talk about that because before we started, hit record. Clear, you go back with some of your partners. Talk about how the people that you work with, and I'm going to guess assume the trust and you have with each other has allowed you to build the business that you have.
Yeah, trust is paramount in business. You have to be able to trust each other. I've been our managing partner, whether it was with Donato's or our two first Wits, or now the 90 plus locations running this brand as the managing partner slash CEO. They trust me. I'm always open with them and honest with them. Like I said earlier, Mike and we've been best friends since kindergarten. His family was there for me when I had hard times growing up. They bought me my first pair of glasses. I used to sit in the front of Covenant Catholic High School where we went. I would do work study every day after school. It was a private school, $10,000 a year. We couldn't afford that. Mom was on disability. Dad left. So I got an opportunity to go to Covenant Catholic and do work study program after school. I would clean boards and wash dishes, do whatever it took to get a free tuition. I'd always sit in the front of the class, and finally, my partner Mike, my friend at the time, said, "Why do you always sit up there?" And I said, "Well, I can't see in the back because all the cool kids are in the back." So, like the next day or the day, I don't remember now. It's been 20 plus years. Going to age myself here, but his parents bought me my first pair of glasses. So that's the people that they are, and I instill that in myself that whatever happens in our business, I'm going to make sure that Mike's taken care of because they took care of me. His parents took care of me, and Mike's just a down to earth guy. His dad's dropped out of high school and started a software company. Just so you know, they run a barcode labeling
Oh
system
wow.
company. And I believe their youngest tenured employee's been there 15 plus years. So
Wow.
they're a business that they take care of their people. And Mike brings that element to me. I'm pretty energetic. I'm go go go. Mike's more grounded. Mike's more conservative. And then our third partner, Mark Halpin, he a friend of ours since high school. I'd say I'm in the middle. Mike's very conservative, and Mark is the risk taker all the time. So I think the three of us really blend well. We'll throw
Mm.
things off each other, and typically I'll kind of lean into what I want, but they're always there for guidance and grounding, which is nice to have.
So when you were picking up Wits, I'm sure you're pouring through the joys of the FTD and all the fun stuff, maybe rewriting it or just saying, hey, this is good. What were the things that you were looking at initially to go, we need to start working on this right away? What are the things that you had to get right and true and stable? Because it's not always, you're not always going to find the best environment. Sometimes you do, but it's not usually the case.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the first and foremost thing that we found was our food supply system was a lot of time brands, not just Wits, they'll outkick their coverage, if you will. They'll outgrow their situation that they started in, and it
Hmm.
takes a leader, good or bad. Sometimes it can go wrong, go sideways, but at least the effort to predict, not predict, but like kind of go towards where the future is trending. So Wits was started in Columbus, and they were working with a regional food distributor.
Mm-hmm.
But as they started growing south into Florida, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Georgia, they couldn't really deliver on the product as strong as they needed to. But they let the relationship with that first supplier, which I'm huge on relationship and huge on taking care of people. But at some point, you kind of outgrow that. So when we bought the brand, we switched immediately to Cisco, a national distributor that can deliver next day.
Hmm.
It's taken all year to get that done, and it's actually officially going live this in January. So been super exciting. It's going to help us a lot on cost of goods. It's going to help us on having a international, actually they are, but brand that can help us with streamlining our products, new ideas, innovation, just a big boy brand that we're super excited to partner with.
I love the term big boy brand. You're gonna get consistency across everything, right? That's amazing. Chad?
Yeah,
Bill, one of our friends, Daniel Martinez, mentioned to me that he mentioned you bought Wits. He mentioned you were innovating and doing a tech stack overhaul. And you shared with me before this that you were also rolling out a new POS.
yeah.
Talk about innovation in tech and
Oh,
how that plays in your plans.
Yeah, it's crazy how much we've already, when you talk about it, how much we've done and the little time we've had. I'm sure some of these franchise partners are like, slow down, pump the brakes, but it's all good. We're doing it for them. So yeah, that was like 1A, 1B. Me being an operator by heart, I knew that the cost of goods was like, I got to show these guys money now. So that's kind of been my baby since day one
yeah.
on the Cisco side, but kind of equal parts. And Mike, my partner that's very financially savvy, he's was really concerned about having multiple different POSs. So Wits had three different POS systems in place, and it just gets really squirrely on fee collection, data collection, learning and development. So we've been round and round and vetted a bunch of different we vetted all kinds of different vendors, and we finally landed on Square. So Square and Wits have partnered up, and that also starts next month. We've already started to about half of our team's already in with Square, and the other half will be rolled over in January. So yeah, we're really excited about that. Just to have that consistent model of technology, right?
Hmm.
From we can see what you're doing in one state or another state all at the same time, because that's the only way that a franchise, again, you buy a franchise to work together, not to be separate. So we're excited to have everybody under one roof now.
Awesome. Well, Square, we've heard a lot of great things of them, especially of late. What was the main deciding factor or two for you?
It was the salespeople. The salespeople really just made us feel like they'd call at 8 o'clock at night, Saturdays, Sundays. They really wanted the business, um, and it just kind of fit our brand. It wasn't super tech heavy where it's like we're selling smiles, right? One of my franchise partners always say that. That's hilarious. But that's what we're doing. We're just putting a scoop of custard with some sprinkles and giving people. It's not too crazy what we're doing. We don't need all the bells and whistles. Square is a perfect combination of pretty simple but yet savvy enough to deliver what we need across the 100+ unit brand here soon. So
Awesome.
It's funny. It was that cliche. If you want to make people happy, sell ice cream.
that's so true too. 'Cause I sell pizza, and sometimes I've learned pizza. Oh, it's burnt. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's late.
Right.
I never get complaints with Wits. Very, very, very rarely.
I
So I
love
do
it.
like that. So
You mentioned something, and I think it's worth noting, right? That especially when you're acquiring a new brand, but leading people too, and change is always a little bit scary and sometimes hard to push through, even though you know what you feel in your gut is right. But if you share a little bit with us, because I know a lot of people are listening that are facing this stuff on the regular. What's a hard leadership decision you made that ultimately made the company stronger, but you didn't feel good about it at the moment?
I mean, honestly, and she knows this, so I'll kind of say it. Keeping Kalen on the team was a big decision for us. It almost kind of threw us off purchasing the company because we knew that the where Wits
Mm-hmm.
wasn't where we wanted Wits to go, and she was a part of that original, whether it was her fault or not. She went with the flow, and the prior owners of Wits are great people, but just completely different mindsets from what we have to what they had, and so we were really worried about that, but we decided to keep her, and she's been great. I mean, she works her butt off. She knows so much about the brand and knows all
Yeah.
the she has 10 plus years of the brand and knows all the bumps and hurdles that took to get where it is. So the war, the war stories and horror stories she has helps us kind of remind ourselves what not to do. Yeah, because I mean, 60 plus franchise partners in the system and growing. My ears are always, we had talked, and people always ask me, like, "Oh, do you work today? What's your schedule like today?" My schedule is whatever my phone and email says. If a partner calls me at 7 o'clock at night, I'm not the guy that's going to ignore that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm the kind of guy that I have 5 different email accounts now, and I don't stop working until all my emails are cleared or put into a different folder every single night, which is literally insane, but it's how I'm wired. I just
Mailbox
can't do it.
zero. That is like that's a
Yeah.
destination right there.
Almost doesn't exist, but it does for me. I don't know how, but yeah, destination. I like that. I
I
need
think
that.
that explains the beginning of our relationship too, Bill. Honestly, we were like emailing back each other at some night last week. I was like,
Yeah, I saw the
okay.
flurry fly. I'm like, what's going on? I just keep seeing these emails going back and forth. They jumped in.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to ask you, so you said before you bought Wits, you were also in touch with the franchisees of Wits. So how was the vibe shifted as you went from franchisee to franchisor of the brand?
Yeah, and I kind of had to play that. Oh, I know we're gonna fix this somehow. I hope one day we'll fix it. Into okay, now I'm trying to fix it, and it's. What's really funny is right before the acquisition, they started this WhatsApp group, WhatsApp that allows the partners to talk amongst each other instead of
Yeah.
making like a standard group text. And they brought me into it as we had signed an LOI, and I was like, "Oh gosh, how do I get out of this now?" Because I don't want them to think that I'm like,
Sniffing
behind
around.
enemy lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was really interesting. But it's been tough. I mean, it's sometimes I'll say people want their cake and eat it too. Sometimes you come up with solutions and it doesn't matter. I think they just want to complain sometimes, which is,
Yeah.
I'm a franchisee too. I get that side as well. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody just wants to make money and be left alone. And I get that piece. I try to leave these partners alone unless they reach out to us. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're just selling custard. I mean, we're going to leave you alone as long as you're following our rules and our procedures that we want just for brand protection and consistency. I mean, do your own thing. We'll be happy. Just open more stores. So,
Wow. Um, we were talking about it just briefly for a second, the flash and glamour of AI and all these tools that are coming out there, right? And we know that great tools like Square, they're layering some of that stuff into their solutions, and I think everybody is to one point or another. Is there anything that you've been tinkering around with that you go, wow, this is a game changer, like something just totally different?
yeah, we've been talking kiosks. That's been a kind of a big deal because what happens with us is like, and we're regional for Wits. I mean, if you're in the Cincinnati, Columbus market, you're 3 nights. Oh, you're 3 nights a week, 3 hours, and 3 months. So it's really July, June, July, August, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 to 9. That's your bread, your butter. How can you make as much money possible? And we get lines that are 20, 30, 40 people deep. So that's going to be something that year one, I kind of call it year zero in
Mm-hmm.
2025 because we just took on so much. We didn't really spend a lot of time focusing on that. We really try to clean up the Cisco's and POS's and a new marketing team. We have some people from Kona Ice. I'm sure you guys know that
Mm-hmm.
name. That came from their team onto our team and have really elevated our brand. Another great brand that we know, great owners over there that we know personally. And that was kind of year zero. Now year one and moving forward is going to be perfecting some operational stuff and getting that line moving quicker so we can take care of the customer, but also increase revenue. So how do we do that? Could it be a
Yeah.
kiosk for certain orders? Could it be, online ordering and mobile pickup? Just all the things that come with, third party. We got to lean into third party more. I will tell you guys though, one thing that I always tell people that are so into tech is I'm always like a 90-10 guy. Lean into tech 90%, but don't forget the people element is what makes a brand stand out sometimes. And that's something that I'm trying to stay true with Wits
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
get a lot of repeat customers that come in for our people. And I don't want that to get lost. It's just a matter of how do you lean into both and, you know, perfect them both, if that makes sense.
Well, Chick-fil-A has the our pleasure, and I absolutely love it. And it's one of those things you remember that somebody actually said something nice at the end of the transaction, as small as that. Is there something like that that you coach your team to do?
We're still working through some of that
Yeah.
piece. That's a big thing for Kim. She's my head of people. She actually came from Kona Ice. She's amazing. woman, and we're really trying to build a culture because that's what she says. Stores could be dirty. Maybe your custard's off for some reason, but if you leave that customer with an experience with the customer service side, that's what you're known for. All the brands
Yeah.
that people know do well, like a Shake Shack, like a Chick-fil-A, they're known for their experience, less for their product, more for their experience. I mean, at the end of the day, Chick-fil-A is just a chicken sandwich. I think it's an overrated chicken sandwich, but I go there because it's consistent, it's quality, and they're always friendly. So
Yeah, the friendly part. Like I've had experience. I don't know about you, Chad, or you either, Bill, at the drive-through. They're actually kind of mean to you. Like, what just happened? I just bought some food. I'm gonna just go away and eat your hate burger, but
your
Yeah.
hate burger. It's almost like they don't want you to be there. It's like, man,
I literally got cussed out once. I'll say it was at a McDonald's a few years ago, but it was during COVID, so you knew they were strained. But like the person literally cussed me out at the drive-through window, and I asked the man, I go, "Hey, can I talk to the manager?" And she goes, "What do you want me to do? Fire? There's nobody else that'll show up."
oh my gosh.
Whoa. Oh, sorry, a
It
little
is tough
side journey
sledding.
there,
It's tough
right?
sledding finding good help. That's another reason why we bought Wits. When
Yeah.
I 20 plus locations in Cincinnati as a franchisee at the time, and I can't tell you the stacks of applications I had for kids, college kids that wanted to work at Wits.
Mm,
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth to find a delivery driver or a manager for a pizza shop, but everybody wants to work at Wits. It's not the. It's the atmosphere. It's just a good time. It's not too exhausting, and we work around schedules. So that was another reason. I just felt like the way the world's been the last 10 years with staffing, it seems
mm,
like Wits is pretty safe. A lot of high school and college kids want to work there. Stay-at-home moms want to get that
huge.
9 to 2 shift and get out. So yeah, it's been a godsend for us on staffing as well.
So
Okay.
Bill, I mean, what's the 2026 or beyond roadmap roughly for you? Like the next few months have X, then after that it's this. What's the planning looking like?
Yeah, I mean, and I've been asked that a lot, and I always say that we want to grow internally. I want my current franchisees to make enough money to where they're growing again. Some of them
Hmm.
would. We've got like a lady in Jacksonville. She's up to 8 locations now, our largest owner, and I'd love to see her get 15 locations. That's just one example of I want to work with less people and work with more. I want to have more quality relationships with my current franchisees. So that's a big goal for us. Is we're going to keep growing. We're kind of in growth mode right now, so it's grow, but grow internally first. Grow efficiently. Don't just grow anywhere. Pick certain areas. Like we're growing in Dallas right now. We want to really blow up Dallas. It's a hot market. Austin, another obviously hot market. Fort Worth, stuff like that. We want to grow there, but and then it's just really perfect what we're doing in the store. Clean up that culture, clean up that brand vision. Every time you come into a Wits, whether it's in Tennessee or Kentucky, it's the same experience each single time. So that's the hard stuff that we have to dig into now, and I think I've got the right team in place to dig into that. But we're going to use a lot of tech to get us there. There's a lot of opportunities, surveys, automation, AI, just a lot of things that we're leaning into and learning, and
Hmm.
everything costs money. So it's like, what do
Yeah.
we have to spend? And is it salary or is it tech or is it a combination of both?
So in expansion, I have so many questions about franchising and growth, and even like due diligence when you're acquiring like you are. But the thing that popped up when you were talking about your expansion is how do you make a decision when you're
Yeah. And
looking at the location? Is it throughput? Is it traffic? Like what are the dynamics that you're looking at to make that be a healthy fit for your business and growth?
we've used some tools, Placer AI, we've been utilizing. That's a brand that I know a lot of like real estate, even like commercial
Hmm.
real estate companies use. Sitewise, another brand we've been using. We kind of start there and look at the market and make sure that there's at least bodies in there to service, but it really comes down to the partner for us. We'll vet the partner. We'll see how dialed in they are
Hmm.
with the community. Is it just a money play for them? That doesn't work for us. We need I don't want to say boots on the ground, but we need our owners present in the
Do they have to have
store.
been an operator before?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
but like one great example is in Cleveland, Tennessee. Bob Bevan, our franchise partner there, he's one of my favorites, one of our best. His store
Hmm.
kills it. He was never in operations, but he was a local pastor in a church,
Oh,
Mm.
and he understands people,
and ice
and
cream
he understands.
socials.
Yes, his store does really well. So I don't know if it's the Jesus flavor that he's offering to his customers or what it is, but they do very well. So that's a great example of
Yeah.
not necessarily. I mean, overall, we want to see operations. That's a big piece, but it's not the end all be all. It's just not somebody that comes in and goes, "Hey, I've got $10 million. I want to open 3 of these. Well, tell me why. I want to make money. You're not the right person for us. Sorry. Which is a little strange because most brands will probably say, let's sign you up for 10.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing. We want to grow smartly.
That's awesome. And do you have like a big, like what they call the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal for the brand?
I don't. I mean, I really don't. I'd love to. Honestly, I'd love to turn it over to my kids. I've got a 13-year-old son. I've got my 16-year-old daughter works at one of my locations now.
Mm.
She's one of my hardest workers. I'd love to build this thing. Maybe 20 years from now, hand it off to them and still be a part, but let them run it. That's kind of, and whether that's 150 stores or 500 locations, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to see that right now because I don't want to get too in front of it. I want to make sure that we're still executing where we're at right now because we're kind of at a little bit of a tipping point. We need to make sure that these current partners feel loved and don't just think we're just growing, growing, growing. What about them? They've been there since the beginning. So that's a tough one to answer, and I still struggle with how to answer it. I just know that at some
It'll
point,
evolve.
yeah, I want it to evolve and evolve confidently and securely.
How do you bring them along for that journey? Like there's a lot of I guess fear, uncertainty, and doubt when a new acquirer comes on, M&A happens, nobody knows what's going on. Like how do you bring them into that tent without obviously oversharing, but give them an idea of the vision and getting their buy-in?
Yeah, and I think that 3 years of experience, whether it was the owners just kind of using me to keep growing stores to make the number that we bought bigger or what, but it paid off in spades for me because I got to really know a lot of these owners and got to lean in and listen to their concerns, so I knew what to fix right away. So that was a unique opportunity that I think a lot of, whether it's PE or an M&A, don't have that opportunity. I had basically 36 months of boots on the ground to hear what needed fixed. So we're not perfect and we're going to mess up, but I am listening. That's the biggest thing is your franchisor listening to you, and being a franchisee, I know that's very important. Is the franchisor listening? What are they doing with my money? So we're always very transparent on what we make salary wise. People know what I make because I don't want to hide things. What's the point? It's their money.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Most important question: what's your favorite flavor at Wits?
Oh, you stole that from me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just kidding.
So Buckeye is my favorite flavor. It's an Ohio thing. It's just peanut butter and chocolate, but Ohio, it's the Buckeye. So it's what we're kind of known for in the Ohio market, and it's expanded south. People love the peanut butter and chocolate. That's always been my go-to as well. But we have so many. We have 300 unique flavors that we have in our recipe book. It's a lot.
How many are on display at a given time? Like 30 or?
So we're a little unique. We have machines that make the product fresh every day. So whether you have a 2-barrel or a 3-barrel or 4-barrel, it depends on how many flavors you have going. But we do vanilla and chocolate every day, and then a flavor of the week, and then some stores do a flavor of the day, and that's all you can really get daily from a store. But we do have quarts and pints in our takeout area that might have up to 60 flavors at once. So we kind of throw it back old school, where it's like in this world we're in now, it's immediate gratification, instant gratification. I want 75 flavors from Ben and Jerry's. You walk into Wits and you're like, hey, I've got 3 flavors, but I just made it. So we're a little old school in that mentality, and people love the nostalgia of, oh, next week is Black Raspberry Chip. I can't wait to come in for that. So
it's almost like listening to the radio, and that's when you find new music, is when you listen to stations you don't normally listen to, or you're being given something that's not on your playlist.
Yep.
Right.
And that parlays me into our new app. We just signed with Patronics. They're they're finalizing a new app for us, which is nationwide. And it's going to have a push notification once you sign up back to be a Wits, valued partner there with our app. It's going to ask you what your favorite flavor of the week is. So then when it is the flavor of the week, it's going to ping to your phone and say, hey, come in and here's $3 off your order. So try us out.
I love that.
Bill, I'm pretty sure before what you said, I don't think I've ever heard anyone use the word just before peanut butter and chocolate.
Just peanut butter and chocolate.
Disconnect.
See,
he was right. It did make me hungry, though. I did want banana in that equation somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a fluffer nutter. Fluffer nutter. It's got banana, marshmallow, peanut butter.
Yeah, he was right. I was going to get hungry on this call. Dang it. And because we were talking a little bit about technology when you brought up the Patronics app, and knowing that you're working with another friend of ours over at Donato's, Revmo, tell us a little bit about your affinity there, because you said that you're part of the selection, if that's okay, because it's always interesting why people pick things and the story there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm one of the largest franchisees for Donato's Pizza. They asked me to be part of their advisory council.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet 4 times a year, sometimes a little bit more, and talk about. They do a really good job over at Donato's of listening to their partners, so they want to hear what we think before they start things. And we were with DoorDash AI for a long time, DoorDash call
Mm,
center, and they shut down that operation. So then we had to kind of on the fly look for a new vendor, and Revmo was one that they vetted and then they presented it, and we got to try it before all the other 200 plus location Donato's did, and we loved it. In the pizza world, I'm sure you guys know from just life experience, it's always pick up the phone and pick up our delivery.
Yep.
yes.
As the world's kind of turned here, first off, as much as these kids love to be on their phones, they hate answering phones, which is just mind boggling to me. They'll text all day long, but they will not pick up the phone. So I don't know who invented the idea, but they got smart and said, that's all right, we'll do a call center and they'll just take care of it. And now it's an AI call center. So it's like even less. So
Right.
it's really been a game changer in regards to efficiency and not losing orders because I've been in operations my whole life. I started out as a dishwasher, as we talked about, worked my way up.
Yeah.
And when you're on that pizza line, you got 47 tickets on a Friday night and that phone rings. The last thing you want to do is stop what you're doing and go answer that phone. So what happens is that phone rings 9 times, the customer gets mad and they call somewhere else that's going to answer.
Yep.
Right.
Now, we have augmented hybrid AI. So what that means is we still have 3 phone rings at our store because I still want my employees at my 17 Donato's specific locations to answer those phones if they can, because again, it has that human side of things. But it'll switch to the Revmo if they don't answer after 3 rings, because then it's like, well, I don't want to lose the business, but I want to have
Right.
a chance. So that was a cool thing that the advisory council kind of put in, is like this like augmented. What if we want it, but we don't want to lose it?
Well,
Piece.
hybrid.
Yes.
Love that. Love that. Chad, do you have any more questions? 'Cause I got one last one before we park out here. I know that
Take
we're
it away.
coming up on time. Well, outside of the curio cabinet to your right, and I see Bob's big boy back there. I see you're a man of faith. But my question is actually back to that 14-year-old you.
Yeah.
If you knew a young kid right now that was washing dishes or working some busing job or an entry point job in a restaurant, and he doesn't see the path, what would you tell them?
Mm.
Because your
That's-
success story, this is American Dream. This is the stuff that anchors. That I mean, I absolutely love it. I love the fact that I love the fact that you had tragedy with your mother, but you used it as fuel, right? And that you found a path for yourself and an inspiring grandfather. But what would you tell that 14-year-old that's out there
that's-
slogging away, going, "I hate my job" or whatever it is?
I would say get uncomfortable.
Ooh,
Make your life uncomfortable, because that's how you're really going to see change. I mean, whether it's going to the gym or eating better or your job, you got to get uncomfortable. It's the only thing that's going to change you. I mean, I was kind of forced into some uncomfortableness, but I could have went one of two ways.
yeah,
Mm,
My father wasn't a great figure. I could have followed his steps, but I chose the opposite in life, and that was a win for me. Had some things happen at La Rosa's that could have went and said sorry. Oh, pity me, sorry for me. Keep my head down. I took it as a chip on my shoulder and have exceeded with that, and still kind of use that as fuel every now and then when I need. And we have B brands in our markets. We know that Graders is a big ice cream brand in
yep,
Cincinnati. It's Wits would how people most people would say what's Wits compared to Graders. I like that. That's a challenge for me. It gets me up in the morning a little bit earlier than most people just to get the day started and try to attack. So that's what I would say is get uncomfortable and really just keep your head down and work, because hard work is always going to shine in the room. People are going to wear a fancier coat or drive a nicer car than you, but at the end of the day, how you speak, how you talk to people, how you present yourself, and at the end of the day, how hard you work is what's going to shine at the end, in my opinion. So
I think that's a fantastic answer.
indeed.
One
appreciate.
last opportunity for a shameless plug, since you are opening up and you're expanding. Somebody's listening right now and like, you know what? I'd love to be a franchisee, and I'm thinking about getting into something. What's the best way to get a hold of you if they did want to talk about Wits? And what
Yeah, I
markets are you looking at?
appreciate that. Really, we're south, and then we're expanding into like Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Nevada. Obviously, still growing in Florida, Georgia. Just anything that's more year-round hot is where we like to experience growth right now. Um, WitsFrozenCustard.com. We've got to apply to be an owner. One thing that makes us different is we're pretty low on cost compared to some of these other brands. You can get in and open for about $300,000. So, a bank's usually going to say, I want 10 to 20% down. So you got 50, 60 grand. Let's play ball. We'll
Wow.
get some money back in 3 years. Typically, that's usually the number we're seeing, about 3 year turnaround time on your payback.
That's absolutely fantastic. Well, Bill, this is awesome. Some of the things you mentioned, I've got a lot of personal experience with, almost identical on the start story. I'll probably bug you at some point just because there's some parity here, but
Yeah,
it
stay in
really
touch.
love the cut of your jib, love what you're doing, love that you came from the ranks and grew up in the business and now are creating opportunities for other people. Love that you're a family man. There's so many good things going on with you. I just encourage people to, if they're interested in Bill's story, to talk to him, because I think there's some really good stuff here beyond just the brand. So thanks for investing some time with us today.
Thank you both. Appreciate your time. Thanks for reaching out to me. I'm not sure why you did, but I always appreciate it anytime somebody gives us a chance to talk about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So thank you.
If we look back and dig deep enough, we'll probably find a reason somewhere coded into all of it. So we'll figure that one out later.
Maybe you're
now,
getting
guys,
hungry for some ice cream.
yes, and thank you for that too.
The underlying reason of why I reached out, Bill, and I think you did it, was to inspire the industry. While we normally look around inspiring towards innovation, I think you do that too. But I think you're an inspirational leader, and I appreciate you.
Thank you both.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Well, everybody, let's give a big wave goodbye. This is ChatGTM episode 1 from season 2. We'll catch you on the next one, everybody. And always, random acts of kindness, sprinkle that stuff everywhere. You never know whose day you're going to change. And by the way, sprinkles go on ice cream, so that fit perfectly. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Chad. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And